Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So, we had some technical difficulties with the video that was supposed to come out on Friday. I was doing a Trump health video. And, yeah, the camera froze, and I was silent. And it occurred to me that I'm sure my mom, on more than one occasion, made a wish or a prayer back in the 70s for me to stop moving around and be quiet for a while. Well, apparently it manifested in a video. So thanks, Mom. So the other thing that kind of struck me as funny was the number of thumbs up and likes the video got. It's like, hey, wait a minute. I don't know how to take that. Maybe I'll just shoot a video of me sitting here like this, waving and calling out names on Romper Room, See how many likes I get with that. But anyways, I started to do a Trump video, health video this morning before I went to work. And I threw two cards and I realized that, one, I was going to run out of time because we're really, really busy at work right now. And two, the first two cards I dropped, it struck me that I don't think I'm looking at Trump's health here. I think I'm looking at something different. And what I find is that when I go for a walk, my thought process kind of opens up a bit. And what I was getting wasn't a Trump health reading, but more with all the tariffs and everything that's going on. Are we starting, what are the signs we're seeing? Is MAGA finally starting to figure it out? Is kind of where the first two cards are like, oh, okay, I think that's where this reading is going. So I'm going to record this one first. I promise I will do a health video. We'll see which one I release on Saturday. But I want to take a look at the energy around Trump and MAGA and that F around and find out. There's been so much going on. The stock market has dropped probably 10% or more over the last 2 days. It's down probably about 15% from its peak from January. So, Trump's doing a great job killing the stock market. And there's a lot of people in the comments asking, well, is he doing this on purpose? And I don't know if he's necessarily doing this on purpose. He sees opportunity, because if the stock market goes down, that means you could buy the stock cheaper. And then when it goes back up, you'll make lots of money. That's great if you're long on cash. But if all of your wealth is invested in the stock market, you've just killed people's, like if you're retirement in your 401k, if you're not in bonds, you just got screwed big time. They call that a black swan event. And that causes people to delay their retirement or find a part-time job or go back to work because you've just killed maybe a couple years of their retirement savings in 2 days. So let's take a look at the energy on this. I already know what the first two cards are, but look at the energy around what Trump's doing, what his administration is doing. You got Signalgate. You've got deporting people without due process. He's losing all these court cases. He's just tanked the stock market. I think they've just raised the risk of a recession this year to 60% likely that we'll hit a recession this year. Inflation is probably going to take off because tariffs raise prices. And if you're measuring inflation as the increase in prices, guess what? I don't think they've come out with a metric that's in a tariff adjusted inflation rate. They'll probably come out with one. But so for entertainment purposes only, let's take a look about the energy around Trump's actions and MAGA finding out. What are the signs that we should be looking for that MAGA is going to start finding out? Oops. Okay, deck's upside down. So that was the first card, King of Wands. This is Trump taking all of his actions. So I apologize. I don't usually peek at the cards, but like I said, I was going to do a health reading, and it's just like these cards aren't really telling me health. So Trump's taking all these actions, and he's just doubling down on everything. There's just no apologies to this. He doesn't care that the stock market went down. He doesn't care that car prices and prices of goods are going up. The challenge is judgment. He's blowing the horn. Are people going to start waking up and taking notice? And this is where I left off. So I have no idea what the rest of these cards are. So what else do we need to know about this? So right now, underneath this, the energy is the Eight of Swords. MAGA's feeling like, uh-oh, we don't have a way out of this. We signed up for this. We elected this buffoon. He's doing everything he said he was going to do. And we're trapped in this. I guess both sides feel that way, except that we didn't elect the buffoon. We just agree he's a buffoon and we're trapped. In the past, the Queen of Pentacles, they thought Trump was going to take care of them, give them things of value, and he was going to make things better. It's just like when you fall as a kid and you hurt your knee or something like that. Nothing feels better than your mom picking you up and giving you a hug and calming you down and making you feel better. MAGA thought that that's what was going to happen. Current energy, God, 9 of Cups, smug merchant, hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and he is pleased as punch. Is MAGA feeling that way? Maybe some still are. Overarching energy is the 9 of Wands, but they're getting tired of all the battles, everything hitting them. I mean, they're just getting financially pummeled right now. Lesson to be learned, 7 of Swords. He's making off with the wealth and the things that are valuable. And he's hoping no one's going to notice. I don't know how you're not going to notice. But, this is... we've been reading this as the election steal. But I don't think that's this case. This could be... He's just... When he tells MAGA what he's going to do and they dismiss it, oh, that's just Trump blowing hot air, or he won't really do that, or that leopard won't eat my face. Guess what? Yeah, the leopard's eating your face, and he's making off like a bandit while they're doing it. Lesson to be learned is the 4 of Wands. You were celebrating when you elected him, but now maybe you're thinking twice about this. You're starting to think that, uh-oh, we might not have a way out. So that's not the signs that we're there yet. It's the signs that MAGA is starting to figure out that perhaps what they thought they signed up for and what they're getting wasn't in alignment. Yeah, that's definitely an FAFO. F around and find out, or around and find out for those of you that don't know what the acronym stands for. Okay, so let's take a look and see, because people are always asking, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And I think we're getting closer. I know there's a couple of readers that see something happening in April. Of course, there's readers that saw something happening in the Ides of March, which might have been Signal Gate, because that was literally right around the Ides of March. So, what are the signs that MAGA is going to start waking up? What do we need to see out of MAGA? All right, let's see. Let's try it again. So, what do we need to see from MAGA that they're starting to realize that they made a mistake? You got actions, 9 of Wands, actions going forth. The Empress, these actions are benefiting wealthy people. The rich getting richer. Underneath it is the Chariot. Things just they're continuing to move forward. There's like no end in sight. It's kind of that 9 of Wands. They keep seeing more and more of these agenda items coming forth, and the 9 of Wands would be that they're getting tired of the battles. So what else? What are going to be the signs that MAGA is getting tired of this? Okay, 7 of Wands. They're getting tired of fighting. Either defending Trump's actions or just trying to stay on top of all of the attacks that are coming their direction, whether it's from political opponents or financial assaults on them. Current energy is the Star, starting to realize that democracy is precious, that it's something that should be held in high regard, because we are definitely moving towards a fascist state. There's no question about that. 8 of Pentacles is the overarching energy, getting back to work, probably having to work harder because things are more expensive. lesson to be learned is Ace of Wands. Finally, starting a new action that you're finally having enough. Enough is enough is enough. What's the outcome? Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is about collaboration and working together and, having discussions. So what to me this is more and more of what like Bernie and AOC are doing with that outreach. Those types of discussions where people are reaching across the aisle. Even Gavin Newsom has taken a lot of heat for having podcasts with the far right or big right-wing proponents. You need to start a dialogue. Understand where they're coming from. At the end of the day, a lot of us have shared end goals. It's just how nasty do you need to be to get to your end goal? Can you get to your end goal by being kind and compassionate and caring? Or do you just have to be an asshole and, inflict the maximum amount of harm and damage to someone who you feel is standing between you and your goal? It's also a mindset. Is there a win-win solution, or is it if you win, I lose? So we got to get past that. And I think, like what AOC and Bernie and Tim Walz are doing is perfect. You got to get out there and listen. Let them vent. Tomorrow is a big protest day, and people are going to be protesting throughout the United States. Dave and Shelly are going to San Francisco. I saw that there was one local to me that's down in Redwood City, California. So I may pop over to that and see what's shaking. The challenge I have is my wife is coming back from Japan tomorrow, and her arrival home and the start of that protest are right about the same time. So she's been gone for 9 days. She might expect me to be around. So let's do one more reading. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? How close are we to this? Let's do, maybe I'll do two side-by-sides. Are we there yet? Or how close are we? So this would be, are we there yet? Is MAGA figuring it out to the point where we can start moving forward as a collective? Or is MAGA need a little more time? That we're almost there. I hate to do a third one, which is, will we ever get there? Okay, so are we there yet? Okay, the world, that means it's the end of a cycle. The cycle's coming to a conclusion because of the actions that are being taken. People, you got the Eight of Cups. People are walking away from this rhetoric and these actions. And it just depends on how you look at it. You're not happy with your situation. So these are all very positive cards in the current situation. I know I'm really upset with how Trump is trying to tank this economy. I was walking to work thinking about that whole cascade effect of when you have you enter into a recession. There's just everything starts to constrict, and it just affects everybody. So this is, are we there yet? And it looks like we're getting there. We're definitely taking steps to that direction. Do we need a little more time? Page of Swords, just MAGA's inexperience, thinking they can take on the world. Or it could just be we start taking on the world, start fighting back. Challenge, the Queen of Wands. We have so many things that we need to do. There's so many actions being taken that we need to correct. We need to start taking care of things again. We wanted actions that took care of us. Instead, we got crazy actions. And it was benefiting wealthy people who have everything. The Empress is the wife of the Emperor. Trump's the Emperor. So underneath it, false friend, and the Three of Pentacles. So this here you go again. So in the current situation, I think right now Trump's still going to try and sugarcoat this. People are getting upset and they're starting to take actions like with these protests, but Trump's going to try and sugarcoat it with, everything's going great. Everything is going according to plan, which is, I believe, is what he's been saying. It's a great opportunity to buy stock. Thanks. In the Are We Almost There, you've got that collaboration card. So are we there yet? No, we are not there yet, but we're getting close. So for the readers that are thinking something in April, it could be tarot's not great with time. I mean, I can ask for a clarifier on time, so why don't we do that? Because almost there, you're in the back of the station wagon asking your dad, are we there yet? Almost. Are we there yet? Almost. Is almost an hour or is almost like 10 minutes, right? Because if you have to go to the bathroom, 10 minutes seems like an hour. Okay, so just real quick, a little for Carter. How close are we? Are we close to almost? The rich people need to get richer. We need to see the collaboration happening. The anxiety of the situation, and then things happening quickly. And then Trump being Trump, whoever trumped a Trump underneath it. Once again, it's hard to say, but what I'm gonna say is the way I'm taking it is there's something that's gonna happen with the very wealthy people. And it's like if it's like some grift, like if you found out that Trump let his cronies know that, hey, the tariffs, we're going to put them out on this day at this time. So, position yourself to sell your stock now to sell at the high point of the market and then buy it back. And in a month time, we'll lift all the tariffs and then the market will rally and then you'll make lots of money. Some sort of scandal like that is what I'm thinking. It's either going to be that or we have Trump's health. He has some sort of health event and it's visible for everyone to see, and he's not the same person. He has to basically retreat inside himself, and it could be at the hands of Russia. Who knows? So that's going to dovetail nicely into my next reading, which is Trump's health event, or this will have dovetailed nicely with my reading on Trump's health event. So I guess the timing of Trump's health event may coincide with the timing of MAGA finally having enough. So that's what I got for you. Woohoo! Thank you so much for joining me. So sorry about the technical difficulties, and I will check this video to make sure that it's going to play properly, because nothing worse than watching me do this. Welcome back! And then nothing happens. And I don't even know who I shouted out on that. So if you asked for a shout out and I didn't call you, it could be because it was on that video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many. And we do give shout outs, believe it or not, except when the videos don't work. So today I'm going to give a shout out to Maria, who was currently in Egypt when she left her comment. Maria said that her name was never called on Romper Room, and I just find that so hard to believe. My gosh. What do you do with a problem like Maria? Well, you give her the sun card. Yay! Let the sun shine on in Egypt, Maria. I hope you had a great time. I don't know if you live in Egypt or if you're just visiting, but I hope you're having a great time and let the sun in. And then I got to phonetically read this one. So shout out to Lina Litonwa. Litonjua. I'm going to say Litonwa. I'm going with the soft J, like San Jose. Her comment was great. I still remember the comment. I had to jot it down. She was paranoid that when the teacher on Romper Room got the magic mirror and it had the hole in it where she could see you, she was like really paranoid that the teacher could actually see her. It's okay. I don't think she could actually see you, but just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. So for Lena, you get the Page of Cups there. You may be crazy, you might not be crazy, who's to say? And then we're going to wrap it up with Libby Webb. Hi, Libby Webb. Libby said that her name was never called on Romper Room. But she wanted a Ladmo bag from the Wallace and Ladmo show. And so I had to look it up because I wasn't familiar with that show. Apparently it was a daytime show that ran out in Phoenix, Arizona. So Libby, your secret card, because you weren't on Romper Room and you wanted that Ladmo bag from Wallace and Ladmo, Five of Cups. I know it's disappointing. Not only did you not get a shout out on Romper Room, you didn't get the Ladmo bag. I mean, how unfair is that? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it, and we will catch you shortly. Take care. Oh, hey, I almost forgot. I almost had to do more editing. And the secret card for the rest of us. Yes. For those of you that stuck around for 20 minutes of me yammering on. The Magician. Yay! Let's go out there and manifest something. Like I said, on Saturday, you've got all the protests going on. Let your voice be heard. I'm not big into protesting, but, you know, at some point you need to stand up and let your voice be heard. And this is probably my opportunity to stand up and let my voice be heard. So I wish you all very well. Hold on. We'll get through this. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Take care, folks. Bye.